Okay, I'm going to give everybody a minute to try x squared over x to the fifth. I want you to try to simplify that, and we'll talk about, if you get it done one way, try to find a second looking answer. All right, one way to look at this is that x squared is x times x. The bottom's x times x times x times x times x. We cancel 1, 1. We get the final answer 1 over x cubed. One way to think about it. And that is a correct answer. Another correct way to think about this is say, look, we know we have a rule about the quotient, right? You just subtract, and 2 minus 5 is x to the negative third. Also, absolutely correct. So here's the big idea for the day. A negative exponent is the same as the reciprocal. That's what we're going to be doing basically all day. So if I say something like 7 to the negative 2, that is 149. 7 times 7 is 49. I do the reciprocal. We can look at that right on the calculator. 7 raised to the negative second power, 149. That is exactly what is happening here. The other thing we can do, lots of different ways to think about this. So another thing I want to start doing is let's do 3 to the negative fourth, 3 to the negative third. Let's start with 3 to the first. That's really easy. That's 3. Times 3 is 9. Times 3 is 27. Times 3 is 81. You can double check right on the calculators. 3 to the fourth, 81. And it absolutely is. So when you're going this way, you're multiplying. 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. Next one we would multiply by 3, and we would get 243. Then we'd have 729, 2,187. Well, let's go the other way. What's 81 divided by 3? 27. What's 27 divided by 3? 9. What's 9 divided by 3? What's 3 divided by 3? There's another way to think about 3 to the 0 being 1. What's 1 divided by 3? The third. Notice we have the reciprocal. What's 1/3 divided by 3? A ninth. It's the same as 1 over 3 squared. Notice the 9. Notice the 9. 1 over 27. Notice the pattern. 1 over 81. So that's how negative exponents work. You have done it before, but it has been a couple of years. It's just the reciprocal. And again, sometimes people make this too hard. If I have 1 over x to the negative 2, where does the reciprocal put us? Puts us back into the numerator. So you could actually think of this as x to the negative 2. The negatives cancel, and we're positive. So we do have a vocab to do. We are on page 443. We are doing 8-4. And the objective today is negative exponent integers. We have one vocab. So our vocab today, get out our vocab sheet. Hopefully you're all on page 443 at this point. Negative exponent theorem says if x is greater than 0, so we're talking positive base, so we'll make a note of that later, x to the negative n is equal to 1 over x to the n. If x is 0, it's boring. If it's negative, you're having all these signs kind of. We're dealing with this as positive for right now. There's a proof in the book. I think we've established it pretty well with the bell ringer. So let's do a few examples in the memory clue. We've got a small box, but we can write small. X to the negative 1/3 is 1 over x cubed. 1 over x to the negative 4th is x to the 4th. Zoom in on that a little bit. We have 3x negative 2. Leave the 3 on top, removing the x squared. So I think we can go with those memory clues. So let's get that down. And we'll start our examples in a separate file whenever we're ready.